to develop an organizational growth plan. Here's the deal. If you're disappointed with where you're at in your business, or if you get up every day wondering, how can I develop my business? Or perhaps you're just generally fed up with people. After all, I do know that firms hit a brick wall after 5 years. Maybe you've been in business for 10 years and actually the problem is that you're not expanding because every time I get a call from someone saying, I'm losing enthusiasm for my business, I think they mean that you wouldn't be losing passion if you were earning a ton of money. Would you? And while I don't believe it's about the money, I do want to ensure that we address the appropriate issue. Because if it's the fact that your business isn't expanding, then that's what we need to discuss. Saying that you're losing interest in your customers, the market, or the reason you started your firm is untrue in most cases. You see, I'm aware that businesses expand when people are inspired by their idea. The company expands when they employ extraordinary individuals who not only share their mission, but are also highly intelligent and competent. The enterprise expands when they have a strategy in place. You encounter difficulties when you don't have those things. And I can attest that I fully comprehend them since, when I started my business, I merely sort of turned up every day. I was putting in 100 hours a week, but I had no actual idea how to manage a company. I detested attending meetings. You know what I've learned since then? The only tool you have as a leader is a meeting. Meetings are the only tool a manager or business owner has to assist, direct, improve, and truly sort of show folks the way. Nobody likes to spend 30–40% of their time in meetings. But I'd like to walk you through a strategy for doing so. Because when I understood, my business changed significantly. My advisor, who was really my mentor, and I were seated. Actually, I hired him. This man was retired and had served as executive vice president of one of the largest telecommunications firms in our nation. So having that sort of expertise look at the business and offer me advice was tremendous. I put down $150,000 and said, Dude, I need you to come in to look at this business to let me know where am I missing things that are simply clear to you. Look, the cool part is you have a vision, okay? He says after sharing the first thing with me. Therefore, the first thing you need is a vision. He was delighted that I saw something. This was my obstacle. I never disclosed it to anyone. What use is it to have a mission statement for your company if you never share it with anyone? He responds, Look, there's multiple ways you can do it. You can kind of have everybody. You can have meetings and recite it at the meeting. And I was like, what? I should be sharing this every day? When someone comes to you with a decision to make, you can remind them, well, here's our objective as a firm. Which decision do you think would most align with that? You can also talk to someone and say, hey, the work you're doing ties back to this, which connects to our mission. Therefore, he really showed me how to connect my team's vision with mine. So, if you want to expand your business, this is a requirement that must be met. Do it now. The second rule is that you must have a 3-year plan. While some individuals say, well, I want a 10-year plan. The 10-year plan is the vision after all. It is what is conceivable. The objective would be to increase tenfold over the following 5, 10, or 25 years, whichever comes first. A 3-year plan is what you need because it is more specific. But here's the deal. I only need one sheet of paper to create my 3-year plan. I actually start this year, 3 years from now, divide it into 3 years, and then I just sort of start mapping top-level plans, saying what would need to be true for those numbers to make sense. How many teammates would I need to make sure I could successfully implement this plan? What sort of spending plan would I require to make it happen? Because that will have an impact on the many items I put together on the plan and the order in which I complete them. A 3-year plan is therefore required. You also require a 1-year strategy, which is the third thing. Here are the changes with the 1 year. Imagine having a grid with 4 quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4, on your 1-year plan. What are the actions, programs, and strategies that we're going to carry out each month? So if the 3-year is merely 3 years at a higher fidelity, when it comes down to the 1 year, it needs to be broken off per month. I believe that a 12-week window is the earliest point at which your firm will be able to make truly informed judgments. This is when it starts to become more specific. You must hold quarterly review meetings, which is item number 4. You should have meetings with your team once every 3 months. The first half of these meetings should be at least a day, but ideally 2 days, depending on the size of your company. The initial portion of the meeting should be used to discuss the preceding quarter. Considering the previous 3 months, what did we intend and accomplish? How well did we perform our assessments? This is the first section because you need the data and the knowledge to prepare the second section. So, if you complete the morning portion and the afternoon portion of the day, you should start by saying, okay, we know these things to be true. How will we set our targets for the upcoming quarter? You therefore have the 1-year plan and the upcoming quarter in front of you. You begin preparing the plans. There shouldn't be any need for more time than that. However, the majority of businesses don't allow themselves the chance to read it over. They just keep going and going, straining, getting frustrated, and asking themselves why they can't make any progress. You haven't planned, so yeah. You haven't given yourself the gift of pausing and stopping. Since I know you don't go to work every day and make no progress, but also because I know you don't take the time to pause and think, I really don't just look at what you've done, but appreciating and rewarding yourself in creating that confidence of achievement. That to me is what those quarterly meetings are for. We therefore have 3 quarterly meetings, and my annual planning meeting is the last one of the year. Since there are 3 quarterlies, the end of Q1, Q2, and Q3, you execute the same framework and approach at the end of the year, but you plan the entire year. What we need for the year, what we will do for the following year, and that at a high level are very crucial. 5. Team meetings once a week. Now, I'm saying team meetings on purpose because the other day, as I was dealing with a private client, I mentioned that they were experiencing some difficulties in their business. I requested an invitation to the team meeting. I'm just looking to get on there. I'm going to stay silent and just listen to the discussion and how others are reporting. Simply listening to how a company communicates can reveal a lot about it. The meeting ended, and I called the CEO back and said, "You do realize that meeting was a client review meeting." "What do you mean?" "It wasn't really a team meeting." I responded, "Well, you talked about all the projects you people were working on, all the clients and how they are doing, and how you plan to earn wins for them. But you didn't talk about the business, about the marketing, the sales, the operations, anything about enhancing the way the company does what it does." And they were like, "Oh." Tiny differentiation. Just a simple little tweak to understand that they didn't even have the weekly team meeting. They held a weekly team meeting the next week after I given them the framework and the agenda. The staff was completely astounded. It was like a light bulb going off. Of course, we would discuss sales and make sure to include those projects in our plans. It makes sense that you would want to learn more about the state of the finances. How are the hiring and recruiting processes progressing? And will we be able to meet demand? As the leader, you must organize these meetings every week, and in my opinion, it is a non-negotiable. The sixth and last requirement is that you stand up every day. You need to have a team-building moment every day. You can conduct it over the phone. I've done it using Uber Conference or other technologies for conferences. It's a stand-up format because nobody sits down when doing it in person. And it can be done via video chat with GoToMeeting, Skype, Zoom, or any other technology platform you want. It's a reporting meeting. What are your top 3 initiatives from yesterday? What are your top 3 goals for today? And are you stalled on anything? Nobody is working together, and nothing is being discussed. It should take about 6 minutes. And as the CEO and manager, you follow up with anyone who is still having trouble. That is the broad outline for managing and carrying out a developing business. 1. You must be certain that you have a vision. What is the destination? Where are you heading? And how long is the journey? 2nd, you need a 3-year plan. You must at the very least state where we are heading, and what must be true on a high level for that outcome to happen. 3rd, you need a grid-like 1-year strategic plan. Yes, you do it on a monthly basis and divide it into 4 parts. You can call these parts quarters or whatever you want, but that's how it works. Then you must ensure that you do quarterly evaluations of your teams and your own performance. You ought to do this even if your business only consists of 2 people. Following that, you need weekly team meetings to discuss ways to improve each of your company's departments, followed by a daily stand-up. It doesn't matter what you call them. Some people refer to them as huddles. You simply need to connect, since a team that communicates frequently develops more quickly. It's just how things operate. More chances exist to prevent someone from deviating from the topic at hand or spending time on unproductive tasks. Teams and teammates must frequently communicate. That's the plan of action for you. I'm interested in knowing what approach you plan to use. Will you begin with the planning? Will you begin with the quarterly reviews? What stood out to you? As always, I want to push you to live a bigger life and expand your business in the comment section below. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video.